And now's the time to pick Sam Clark's head about rigs and everything else, mate.
Yep.
Right, a bit of a change from your Eliminator when I spoke to you. You were fishing on the bottom. Today you've chosen Zigs.
Yep.
Why was that then?
Well, the weather's a lot nicer, isn't it? A lot warmer. The sun didn't have as much warmth the other day, and with the showers that we were having,
Yep.
sort of cooled the surface layers, didn't it? So they weren't really on it then. But
So on the bottom on that day, well,
Yep.
and then today on the Zigs. Talk me through your rig, mate. Well, look, again, very simple setup, but just take me through how you do it and how you tie it up.
well, basically, as with all Zigs, it's nice and simple, nothing sophisticated really. I've got a choddy hook there, as you can see, called a choddy hook. Just sits much nicer, sort of. Got the shank flat against the hair.
Yeah, because it's got an outturned eye.
Yep.
Yeah. The line. Yeah, basically the line there is leaving straight out. So what you're saying as well, you don't get that rubbing on the eye and stuff when
No.
you're playing fish. So
Much better hook hold for those Zigs.
yep. Okay, I think that's a 10 or a 12.
Yep.
With regards to hook bait colour, talk me through that.
Well, the yellows have been quite popular over the past couple of years, as probably everyone knows. So a little bit of a change on the red foam, and it's done the business.
Pinky red, isn't it?
Yeah,
a little bit diluted. Yeah,
that's
a bit
it.
like a worn out old Mini.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then how have you just tied that on to the?
Just a simple knotless knot. I've take a look there. I usually use quite a big loop, just keeps
Yep.
the bait in place a bit nicer.
Okay.
And yeah, nice and simple knotless knot.
Yeah, doesn't need to be complicated, does it, with
No,
Zigs?
not at all.
Right, okay, so that's on the money. You've got that out there. You've obviously got some goodness going out on top of it.
Yeah.
Talk me through that.
Well, first of all, I've got a bit of crushed hemp.
Okay.
That's the main sort of basis. Bit of normal hemp as well, boiled up before. A little bit of sweet corn to have some colour falling through,
Yep.
so they can sort of see something. And
Of course.
a little bit of coconut milk.
Right, is that as in the sort of Thai stuff, the
Yeah.
Chinesey coconut milk?
Yep, that's
What,
it.
the full fat or the light version?
The light version.
The light version.
Yeah,
Oh, so you're
that's it.
treating them healthily. I like
Yeah.
that. That's very, very
Keep 'em healthy,
conscientious.
haven't
Yeah, got to look after them.
Yeah.
Well, that's something interesting. That's not a product I use in my Zigs,
No?
and I don't see some of the other guys using them. So yeah, that's a tip that I'll be employing.
Yeah,
Definitely, mate.
That's it. Get
Well,
a nice cloud in the water. So
Yep.
that's it.
beautiful. Well, you've fired into the lead, mate. Are you confident you can hang on or build on it?
Well, I've got to carry on plugging away, and yeah, really confident now.
Well, I wish you the very best of luck.
Cheers,
Couldn't happen
Ali.
to a nicer bloke, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Would you, Adam and Evie, the big fish man, Johnny L, has done it again. Mate, how do you keep pulling these out of the bag?
Just single grains plastic corn. It's just the weigh on a
How big is it?
25.5 this one weighed in.
Covering your head, and that's a big head to cover. Mate, that has shot you well up the leaderboard. I believe that's probably put you into second place. Do you think there's plenty more where this one came from?
Hopefully so. There's meant to be around another 420s in here, so a few more will do.
I reckon 399 I'll definitely see you through, mate. I think you might win it with them. Excellent. Well, get this fella back, and we best have a look at that rig you caught it on. We are with Mr. Rabbit out of the hat, Johnny Earl. John, there's some magic in you, son. I can see it.
I know, Ali.
Talk me through the rig. Where is it coming from? Where are these big uns coming from?
The big one's just coming again, just falling foul to the plastic corn on the linear complex.
It's definitely where it's at, innit?
Yeah, the only place I catch well on this is on the linear complex.
Single grain of rubber
Single
love.
grain. Yeah, can't go wrong. Any colour will catch on here.
Why single grain then, John?
Because on here you see a lot of anglers, they'll fish 2 grains, possibly 3 grains, and they don't catch as well. If you use just a single grain, you're going to catch a lot more fish.
Right, talk me
Because they're
through.
not as used to seeing it, and it's just like a natural bit just sitting on the bottom somewhere.
Just a golden grain of goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, we were sort of mimicking that car, weren't we? We were saying, like, it probably come along, it had a
Yeah.
look, you thought, oh, it's only a single grain, look, loose. There's no hook on
They're gonna
that.
have it.
And then, bosh,
In it goes.
early caned them, like it. Tell me how you tie it up, talk me through it.
Basically, you just strip off a few inches of hybrid,
Yep.
and then tie a small loop, single grain of corn with a caudal hair stop, then a little bit of silicone,
Very important, that.
a little bit of silicone onto the hook,
Yeah.
wrap it round about 8 to 10 times, then put it back through the eye, obviously,
Yep.
and then put on the shrink tube in.
Okay, and that's a long shank shape, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the
Is
long
that
shank
size
hex, size 10.
8? Size 10, right. Finesse. Right, the hook link material?
Hook link materials, just 20-pound hybrid, stripped back in green.
Okay. And then you've got a gorgeous bag of pellets there.
Little bag of just mixed pellets, just slides down.
Why'd you use the pellets, John?
I use the pellets just so then there's a little bit more attraction around the hook bait itself.
Right. Do you ever put corn in with the pellets, or do you just...
Sometimes I put it in with the pellets when I've got the time and when I'm not power fishing really.
Power fishing, big word.
If I was at the syndicate, I'd be grounding down some pellet, putting some corn in, keeping some whole pellets as well, just to loosen up the corn and possibly adding a bit of oil.
Right, I'm feeling that. Right, move me on to the lead system.
Lead system is just the big fish rig really.
Right.
It's just quite a standard shocker rig.
Shocker magic, power fishing, shocker rigs, it's all coming together, John.
As soon as they hit it, like bang, then nail, bottom lip.
How does it work? Talk me through it.
Basically, as soon as the fish picks up the hook bait, thinks there's nothing there, it'll eventually hit this bead at the other end,
wallop,
and bang,
there in Earl's
well
net.
in the mouth.
Johnny Earl, you are man and legend, and I've been very impressed with you the last few days.
Cheers,
certainly your eliminator, and you certainly seem to have the magical knack of bagging big carp, and I can see why now. Right, back with Tom Dove. We're going to get his thoughts on what's happened so far. Tom, tactics wise, what seems to be winning the day at the moment?
Zig's spotting, I think, what everyone thought they was going to do first of all. I think a couple of odd lads have caught him on the bottom. They seem to be the bigger fish as well. I think the lad behind just had a 25 and he off the bottom. So the evening's drawing in now, and I think it's going to be fishing them down on the bottom where everybody's been spotting, getting them down and eating some grub.
So if you were fishing this match and you were here, I know you've just given us sort of insight into it. What would be your approach sort of the night and then going into tomorrow?
Like fishing on the bottom now, taking the zigs off, maybe putting a bit more food items down there, some broken boilies and that. See if you can get them actually down feeding instead of getting nitbits on zigs and that, like that.
Okay, and you've sort of been around the lake now. You've seen some of the guys fishing. Obviously, you've seen some fish come out. Who's your favourite now, Tom?
Don't know, it's hard to call, isn't it? I mean, a lot of people have caught all the way around the lake. I think it's going to be a good match, it really is.
That's the great thing about this venue. I mean, the shape of it just lends itself to a really, really open match. But I am going to put you on the spot. Pick me a winner at the moment.
Tom Maker.
Still Tom Maker.
Still Tom Maker, yeah.
Well, everyone's still going with that boy. He's battling away there. I mean, it's been a slow area at the moment. There's fish in the area, so I suppose we just keep our eye out and see what happens.
Indeed, yeah.
Just felt different. We're in swim 34 with Jake Wildboar. Jake, this is your second fish.
Yep.
It's looking like a good fish, mate. How big was your first one?
It's 13.9.
13.9. Well, this is looking like it could potentially take you into first place. You must be made up if it does.
Yeah.
Right, well, let's have a look what the weight comes through at. Alexi, on hand, former winner. He knows what it's like now, don't you, Alexi? You used to all this way, and he's on the other side of the scales now.
It's got to be a mid-double, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, it's over the Magic 2-0.
£20 2, well done, mate.
£20 2, Jake. That's put you into first place, mate.
Alright, yeah.
How's it been going so far, mate, with regards to tactics? How did you start the session?
Put both out on zigs. One on just a bit of yellow foam, some maggots now.
Right, very crafty indeed. And are you confident with the coming into the evening that you can hold on to the lead?
Yeah.
You are. You're confident, man. Well, very confident guy. Get your rods back out, mate, and hopefully there's a few more where this one came from.
Nice. Well done, mate. Well done.
Right, going into the evening of day one. It's getting exciting. Lewis scores on the doors.
Well, leading the way at the minute is Jake Wildboar in swim 34. One of the popular swims. A lot of people had that high up on the list because it controls so much water in the middle. Two fish for £33.12. I think morning we'll see him still up there. There's a lot of fish out there. He'll catch them. Third place is Johnny Earl. One fish, £25, biggest of the week. Stands him a very good chance of getting the £250 check for biggest fish of the final. Second place, Sam Clark, a guy I know that you said off camera was a favourite of yours.
He's doing the business, isn't he? Quietly going about
He's had more fish than anyone. He's just been unlucky. He's had a couple of small ones, but he has had a 20 as well. The down his end, he's in the teeth of the wind. I think in the morning. I don't think you're going to see a lot of change here, other than bigger weights, obviously. But these guys, I think they'll still be up there tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So a few guys around the borders at £20 there. Brad Day, one of my other tips, on £17. Crowe, Tommy Maker, Rob Sutton, slightly out the running at the moment. Can they come back from it?
Of course they can, mate, yeah. Still early days. Tom Maker, I think he's pulled out a couple of fish so far. He's had the one little one, but as you well know, that swim that he's in controls an awful lot of water out in front, and anything can happen with Tom because he's such a good angler, and I know that he'll keep working throughout the day and the night as well. Robbie Sutton, I don't know, when I went round and had a chat to him earlier on, he was a little bit down in the dumps. You know, some of these guys, they start making a nice little lead, and because there's all that pressure of him being the former champion stuff, he seems to be a little bit down with himself. But I did see last year it was exactly the same, and obviously on day 3 at the end of the event he was leading it, so anything could happen still, mate. It's still early days, really.
Well, really exciting times going into the night. Let's see what tonight brings.
The Junior British Carp Angling Championships in association with Corda Adrenaline.
Well, I bet you want to know what shape the leaderboard's in now after a night of activity. However, we're in swim 1 and we're with Tom Roster, who, now that the wind's changed, has bagged this beauty. How big, mate?
22-1.
22-1. Do you think there's more to come?
Hope so.
Hope so. What was the method, mate?
Just fished out short range, a little pineapple pop-up, a PVA bag of pellet.
When did the bite come?
Just randomly, just a few minutes ago, really.
Just out of the blue?
Yeah, just screamed off.
Were you expecting it with the change in wind direction?
Yeah, I woke up this morning, it was just going in my favour, so I thought could get a bite, so...
Right, if the wind keeps up like this, are you confident you might hang on, mate, and pull something out of the bag?
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully. Well, the dream lives on, mate. That's brilliant. We're going to catch up with some marshals now to find out the leaderboard. Oh, what a night it's been. It's turned into a right humdinger. Oz, what's been happening, son?
A few fish caught overnight. John Earls had another 20-pounder. So Sam managed to keep up with the on the lead, but things are about to change, I reckon, as this wind swung completely round. Fish have moved out of that bottom area now, seem pretty well spread. They're coming through the centre of the lake and heading up to the top, so I think by tonight we're going to see a totally different picture.
Right, good predictions. Mr. Chambers, Sam Clark bursting through from second place to take the lead. Do you fancy that guy's chances?
Sam's, he'd done well, he had a good start, a good early first half, but I think the fish are moving out of his swim. It's all going to change now. He had a couple of nice 20s, but the fish had departed. He might be able to snatch 1 or 2 fish, but I think we can see him slowly dropping down the leaderboard.
So a lot of the guys there in the top 4 are down the bottom end of the lake.
Down the bottom end. It's a game of 2 halves, really. They had their chance. Have they caught enough? Boys down this end of the lake now, is their chance. They've got to come in and get some good fish.
So an exciting 24 hours.
It's going to be very exciting. The next day today is going to see who's going to be in the mix-up.